Greetings and welcome. It's Russell Paul Arthur here from Grace Sovereignty Academy. And today I want to lend you perspective. I want to give you a different way of looking at your life and looking at the society that you live in. Lend you perspective that enlightens you to a better future. I want you to imagine this. Imagine there is no society, no country, no government, no law and order, and no ruling authorities. There is just the land, human beings, and nature. Now imagine that you and your family are living a natural life on the land. You have constructed a beautiful home on a picturesque landscape, and you and your family are using the local resources as the materials and sustenance that you need to nourish and sustain your lives. And you've created this wonderful life. With your time, effort and skills, you have resourced and constructed a life of purpose, value, joy and peace. And so there you are inside your family home, enjoying the fruits of your labour. Then one evening, there is a knock at the door. You open the door and standing there is a stranger. This stranger has something to tell you. This stranger makes a demand that you must give the stranger a percentage of the value that you create and build in your life. And you are given a warning. If you do not give this stranger a percentage of what you create and build in your life, this person will come back and force you to pay. And if you have nothing to pay, this person will punish you. This person will impose conditions on your life. This person will use brute force to remove you from your home, detain you inside a prison cell for a certain number of years, as a punishment to pay off your debt, the debt that you owe for not paying this person. Now, what would be your reaction to this? I think it is fair to say that you would think this is crazy, that it is obviously and completely wrong for some person to demand value from your life, value that you have created, earned and owned, value that rightfully belongs to you and nobody else, that it is wrong for someone to punish you if you refuse to comply with their demands. In this scenario, you would most likely tell that stranger to clear off because what a cheek, right? How dare they? How dare they even think they could demand a percentage of the value that you have created in your life? Nobody on this earth has the right to demand that you give them a percentage of your wealth. This is extortion. This is theft. This is something the mafioso would do. The wealth that you create and own in your life is rightfully yours to enjoy and possess, free and independent. Rightfully yours to pass on to your family when you pass away. That is your freedom and right. You have the freedom and rights as gifted by the divine source of creation as a creative force to keep the value that you create. And your freedoms and rights are divine, natural, inherent, instinctive, and intuitive. You already know that you are a free man or woman. You already know that you have the free will to choose how you wish to live your life. You already know the difference between wrong and right. You already know when you're doing something right, and you already know when you are doing something wrong, because you are a man or woman who is guided by conscience, feeling, and sense. And this means you also know that it is wrong for someone else to demand that you pay them a portion of your livelihood. For someone to force such a thing upon you would be a violation of your natural freedoms and rights. But this is exactly what happens within the society that you live in. You supposedly live in a free society that is supposed to protect your freedoms and rights. And yet this society demands that you pay a percentage of your wealth, enforces you to pay a percentage of your wealth. And this society that you live in has been set up to punish you if you do not pay. Does that sound like a friendly, caring, nurturing, loving, guiding and supporting society to you? So how did we get here? How did this happen? How did we all end up living in a society that engages with legal theft and extortion? Now I want you to imagine a different scenario. Imagine that you are in your home, that home that you have built in the middle of nature. Then one evening, you get a knock at the door. You open up the door and 3 people are standing there. They break the silence by introducing themselves, but all you can think of is, why are they here and what do they want? Well, these people, they have a proposition to make you. And here is the proposition. These people have formed a society. A society is a body of people who have decided to come together for mutual benefit and support. A society is formed with rules and regulations that guides the people on how to cohabitate and work together so there is security, safety and order. And this group of people who have knocked at your door, they share with you all of the benefits and privileges that you could gain from joining their society. You could participate in their commercial system to earn money and generate wealth. You can use their healthcare system and get access to emergency care and treatments for injury and illness. Your children can use their educational facilities and benefit from self-improvement. You can travel on their roads, use their water, gas and electric. And there are lots of benefits that would provide you and your family with more convenience and more ease. As a member of this society, you would gain new opportunities to capitalize and thrive. And as part of this proposition, when you join that society, you must also agree to the tax codes and rules. You must also pay tax. You must give a percentage of what you earn to the leaders of that society. So the leaders can put that money to good use. So the leaders can grow, develop and improve the society and make life for you and your family much more expansive and enriched, which seems like a good idea by all accounts. You and your family have decided that you would be much better off by joining a society that offers you good benefits, that improves the quality of your life. So you welcome the proposition. You and your family, you make a conscious choice. You exercise your free will choice. You choose to register with the society and you take on a legal standing as a citizen of that society, where you have become accountable, responsible and liable for all the rules and regulations created by the leaders of that society. And for the first few years of being members of this society, everything is great and life improves. You are all enjoying the benefits. It's one of the best decisions that you and your family ever did make. But things start to turn south. Not immediately, but gradually. Gradually things get worse and worse. What used to be a high society that revelled in peace and prosperity, that uplifted the human spirit and gave equal opportunity for every man and woman, starts to become so very corrupt. Bad men with greedy intentions get involved with mismanagement, malpractice and malfeasance. The leaders have become drunk and belligerent on prestige and power. The leaders are legislating policies and acts that give them more and more authority and control over your life, that removes more and more of your freedoms and rights. The leaders have become a ruling class, where it seems to be one rule for them and different rules for you, the citizen. The leaders are breaking their promises and ignoring major social issues. The legislations and regulations that these leaders keep imposing are making your life more and more restricted and limited. More and more taxes are being introduced. The economy experiences runaway inflation, the value of the currency is diminished, and the cost of living keeps going up and up. And life, for all the hardworking people, has become this tragic rendition of lurching from one economic crisis to the next, where a bad future has now faded into a gloomy outlook. Before your very eyes and within a short space of time, the fabric of society begins to fall apart, starts to dissolve from order into chaos. The people have become degenerated, the goods and services have become degraded, the buildings and roads dilapidated. What was once a great society to be a part of, where the standards of living were high and opportunity knocked at the door, has now fallen into ruins. It no longer resembles anything that you had originally agreed to be a part of. And it keeps getting worse. So there you are, a member of this fallen society. And you are worried about how you will keep things going. You're concerned about the future of your children. Maybe you are looking for a way out, looking for a better option, because you've come to realize that the society you live in is systemically flawed. The current system is corrupt and dysfunctional. And the question is, what will you do? Because you do have a decision to make. You do have the free will to make a different choice. You can choose to continue with your citizenship, complaining about how bad the situation is as you probably go down with the sinking ship, or you can choose to jump off. You could choose to save yourself. You could abandon ship, you could avoid disaster, you could jump into a life raft or swim to a nearby shore where you will find safety and stability on the land. Where you can go back to nature, go back to living a natural life, free and independent from the constraints, detriments and liabilities of that fallen society. Where perhaps you could learn from your experience and you could form a new society with new people, where you all decide to retain your freedoms and rights and build wealth free from extortion, to live as true sovereigns with laws that honors and protects the sanctitude of life. And that is exactly what we are doing inside Grace Sovereignty Academy. We have formed a private society with private members who operate with personal sovereignty. And if you want to know what that means, if you are curious to learn more, then I recommend that you check out the free 60-day trial of our academy, because the only way for you to truly know how your life would dramatically improve as a sovereign man or woman is to get inside our Sovereignty Academy and see for yourself what we are teaching and doing. And that's it from me. I hope this has lent you perspective. Thanks for being here. Take care for now.